Oh, did you see that? Oh my God, I launched that. Did you see that? Did you see that? All right, here's a little bit more of the caliber you can find on the micro dungeon here in the little creek. All right, everyone. Well, this is part 4 of how to fish or spin pole in Montana on your trip when you come out this summer, next summer, 10 summers from now, whenever. It's actually 2 tips in this video. The first one is ask for permission. Just ask for permission to get out on one of these beautiful streams. Today I came to one of my favorite streams. They were doing a cattle drive downstream. One of the properties that's open for public fishing. A couple hundred cows were getting dumped onto it. There was an angler parked there. I came upstream. I fished this property before, just walked in from the bridge like you're allowed to in Montana, staying in the stream below the high water mark, playing that game. But you're out here in the middle of the open, this giant ranch, huge houses on the ridge line. I figured this time I had the time, let's go stop by the sheriff's office. They didn't really know much. That's not what they're up to. They're up to bad guys, not bad guys fishing. So then I called the game warden. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks is an awesome website where the game wardens are all broken down by their area. You tap on the map and the area you're at. The person's name pops up, phone number, email. I contacted the local game warden, had a 20-minute conversation with him because down at the bridge, you know, you look down at one side, it's orange posts, no trespassing, obviously barbed wire. You turn around onto this side, it's smooth wire, no signs. Stream access law seems pretty decent, pretty easy to follow there. I was just out in the middle of the open and figured, hey, let's just go ask. And the game warden, we talked for a while. He said, you're legal on both sides of the bridge. You know, don't be stepping up in the guy's pasture. And I tried to kind of explain how the creek is here, you know, where this is an inset floodplain and that guy's pasture is actually up there, maybe even a little bit further back, considering what the high water, ordinary water mark is. But you don't want to get into those kind of conversations. And so he said, if you step up on the pasture, the guy's probably going to call me and I'll have to come down and talk to you, you know, more so below the bridge, less so above the bridge. Above the bridge, I think he probably would just respect having you stop by and ask to see if it's okay to go out in the creek that day. So I said, you know what, after this conversation, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to cruise down there and ask him or her, whoever's home, and then I'm going to come back and get some lunch and go do some fishing. It's a couple miles from a small town. So I cruised on down there, American flag, Montana Grizzlies flag flying at the post. I can see people working on a pole barn. It's like a half-mile long driveway or more. I cruise on up. Hey, looking for the landowner. That's me. I was wondering if I could ask permission to park down at the bridge and do some fishing on the creek. He said, you know what? Absolutely, just like that. I said, would it be okay if I came back in the morning? And he said, you know what? You have fun out there, enjoy yourself. My property's so big, you can't walk to the end of it. All I said was, thank you, that's what I wanted to hear. Got in my van and drove away. Got a lunch in town, and I've been back trying to catch a giant brown trout for you guys in this creek on camera. It's not as easy as it looks. I've had some boil on my fly, boil on my stuff, like right on the bank. I've been fishing this creek for 30 years. It's amazing. The walk-in section is amazing. Something I just can't. I've caught a lot of little guys in here tonight, you know, and I've had a bunch of big ones boil on it and had them on and flash on it and lose them and, you know, jump down to the creek and have them on and pop off. So I haven't been able to get that one on film for you, but there's several videos in my playlist that are from this creek that have some nice trout on it. I'm going to continue working on it, and I'm going to work on it again tomorrow morning. Then the weather's going to change. I don't know if you can see those big peaks back there behind me, but those big peaks are going to be covered in snow. And yes, it's June 25th. There's a winter storm warning for this area here. Those peaks above 6,500 feet, we're probably around 45 to 5 right here. So it's going to be about 42 degrees and raining on Saturday, and I'm going to be driving back to my home in Oregon, I think. So one tip for this video, ask permission, you know. Don't go bug the sheriff. They don't really have much to say about it. You can go talk to them. The people are gonna call the game warden. Everyone knows their local game warden out here, which seems reasonable for rural country where there's lots of hunting and fishing going on, and people probably seeing the big elk on your property and wanting a piece of it for themselves. So everyone gets a relationship built with the game warden. You know, he's not going to give you permission, or she's not going to give you the permission to go on anyone's property. You need to go get it yourself. But if what the game warden told me is if you pull up to the driveway and there's a bunch of no trespassing signs and beware of the dog and all that, that's not a place to go banging on the door asking for permission. They're telling you we don't want you on our property. This guy had American flag, Montana Grizzlies football flag. I'm sure he was a fan or ex-player, had a kid, grandkid, something like that. I drove right up, very cordial, very, very positive interaction. I'm going to be writing that landowner a note, a thank you note. Let him know I'd like to stop by next time I come into town. So ask permission. Take the time to get to meet the people out here. I don't care what state you're from. They know Montana is a tourism state. They know that tourism supports the whole economy around here. They know that fishing is huge. They don't care if you're fishing with a spin pole, fly rod, tenkara. They don't care. They just want you to respect their private rights on their property and ask permission. So I did, and I got on. And man, I'm hoping for that big one. I saw a 2-foot brown trout in one of these pools, the deepest pool. I kind of marked it on the way back. I'm going to soak it. So what I've been using, and what I've shown you guys before, I've been getting some good blow-ups on this. I've got one on camera where this thing hit the bank, the water, and literally the fish just came out of the water like a whale to suck it down. And that's the Kelly Gallup mini dungeon, or this is actually the micro dungeon. There is a mini, there's a micro, and then there's a larger one. This is the micro. This thing's about as big as my pinky, about a little bit smaller, and I put a split shot in front of it, just a small one, and it dances and floats and dances and floats. And this year the creek's really low. Everything's super low. The last 2 spots I fished were, I caught some fish, but it wasn't kind of the fishing I was looking for. The beautiful country, the water's just really low this year due to the snowpack. This creek is actually got more water in it than I expected. It's very interesting in this valley with the irrigation or whatever, but it's making the fish really tough. They're super tight to the bank, and they're super finicky. Usually they're pretty easy to get at in here. This year they're a little challenging for me today. But man, I've still had some sweet blow-ups on this thing. I'm gonna fish it all the way back. You can look back at the road back there. My van's about, that big. So I figure I'm a solid 1.5 miles up this windy creek. I mean, it literally winds back and forth. You come up over the bank and there's another spot on the other side. I'm just gonna let this thing soak. And so in the video that I have, you see me just pitching it against the bank, trying to get it into that bank, into those undercut banks. Those things are up to your armpit deep. And so if you just hit the bank, the fish is still under there, a foot away from your fly. So if you're a foot off that bank, you're not going to catch anything, and that's how it's been for 30 years. So it takes you a few hours to be able to punch that bank like a bass fisherman. And one of the ways to do that is with the Kelly Gallup mini dungeon. I'm going to be fishing this one here on the way back. It's got a little tail. It's a 2-hook fly. You can see that. This is the micro. Sorry, I always call it the mini. I'm going to fish a black one to see if that makes any difference. Fish finder jig will work in here when the water's higher. I've got some excellent footage of me catching some big boys on the fish finder jig in here, but that's when the water's way up on this bank. And you're looking up on this bank, it's up where that yellow grass is, right? And so there's some obvious areas where the fish are hiding. Now, I mean, I was in a side channel. I don't know if I got it on video or not, but the side channel was about 5 feet wide, and I was literally just flicking it in there like a bass fisherman, just a little flip. Keep working it, and I'm like, I just need to get to that pool. I took 2 more steps, and the 16-inch fish took off out of 4 inches of water under the bank. So even though you have private permission, there's another guy fishing here. I don't know if they have permission or not or whatever. There's 1 set of foot tracks on this. It's still difficult. This isn't easy. This is challenging stuff, but I'm on a beautiful property. I mean, look at this. I'm looking at a wilderness area, Rocky Mountains, snow-capped peaks, beautiful stream, amazing habitat, well cared for property, landowner that was easy to talk to. Hammer in the mini dungeon, micro dungeon, sorry, micro dungeon. So that's the tip for today. I think this is part 4, how to fish your spin pole in Montana. I'm not joking around, guys. I mean, you're going to catch some fish on a spin pole that you really won't be able to get your stuff to on a fly rod. And I know the guides are going to be like, that ain't true. The reality is, you know, with a jig, I can cast farther, it sinks faster, it goes deeper. You know, with this fly, I can fish it under all kinds of stuff and swing it in areas where it's very difficult to get a fly. I can flick it, flick it, flick it. I can get it so many times out there, so many more times out there. A spin pole is a great way to fish. You don't have to have a fly rod, but you can still fish flies. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott. This is Red Bandy Outdoors. If this is the kind of content that you're interested in, this is valuable to you, using light tackle spinning with flies, jigs, dry flies, all kinds of stuff in trout streams across America. Think about subscribing. Think about saying hi in the comments. Think about heading over to my store, fishfinderjigs.com, where I've got all the stuff that I use, except the micro dungeon, which you can pick up at most fly shops. Check out the stuff I'm selling at Catches Fish. I got lots of videos out there showing you. Thanks for watching. See you out there.